What is happening? My guitar playing beauties, my guitar playing people. We are here with another weekly practice session to increase your skills for all of you who are looking to get over that plateau phase, who are really looking to increase your guitar skills. You're tired of broken notes and fragmented playing and all that stuff, and you're looking for a way to really get better and better. I think this is the way. I think you are in the right place, and that's the deal. We are going to get going in just a second. So if you find this helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We got a bunch of good stuff, getting faster, getting more accurate. There's some cool exercises for, speed and accuracy. There is maybe a little minor theory with some touch and feel, although that's kind of involved in everything. And then there's a cool sliding lick to increase your sliding skills, your sliding capacity. As always, these are timed exercises, so if you don't have the 20 minutes, you can adjust your own timers on every exercise. You can bring things down a little bit. I think 20 minutes is super accessible. If you play guitar a lot, you want to get better, you probably have the 20 minutes to give, so put it on the front end of your session, and then it'll make all the songs and solos you want to learn that much easier to learn and to get really good at, because you'll be taking care of your technical proficiencies on the front end, and then you won't be getting into your songs and playing all these broken notes, as can happen a lot with beginners and intermediates. So with that, let's get into things. We've got exercise 1. It is an alternate picking based exercise. Really great way to just connect with you and your instrument. I keep making the avatar analogy, like the hair coming together, like, get connected with your instrument first, get loose, and then we'll kind of increase difficulty as we go along. So the alternate picking exercise, really simple, but one of my favorites. We're just playing 3 notes per string. So we're going, which forces us to alternate our pick from string to string. So we go, down, up, down. We have to alternate to up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right, as we go through it. So it's helpful to play those 3 notes on every string because it forces us to alternate on every single stroke instead of restarting, up, down, up, or down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, right? Or I guess if we were playing 4 notes, down, up, down, up, down, up, and restart. Anyways, you get the whole point. It's all valuable, it's all beneficial, but I find this to be most helpful. I would go up to the next fret. Technically, you don't have to do that, but I think it's really helpful because, as you can see, frets get smaller as we go further and further up the neck. They get larger the further down the neck we get, and it's different, right? You want to get a feel for the whole freaking thing. So always start with a slower metronome. Really make sure you're in a good place. Light with the picking. Don't choke the neck. And then once you feel good, you can increase the speed. Now, for those of you who are looking for bonus points, you're looking for pats on the back, and you're noticing we're only using index, middle, ring. Well, hold on a second. You could, if you want to get the pinky involved, and you're realizing the pinky's so freaking important, you could go middle, ring, pinky, right? And you could do that up and down the neck. That's also fair game. So if you're like, I'm missing this pinky, throw it in the mix. What do I care? I'm not beating you into only using index, middle, ring. Come on. All right. But there's the exercise, right? The 3 notes, the uneven amount of notes forces you to alternate from string to string. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You're doing the exact same pattern instead of switching from string to string. So slightly different skill. There's exercise 1. You got the tabs over here, but like I said, they're downloadable. Get them on your computer so you don't have to come back to this video every single time, or maybe I didn't say that in this video, but there you have it. They're downloadable in the description, PDFs for every exercise. And you don't have to scroll through this video every time you want to go through this practice session, because I want you to play it every single time you pick up the guitar this week. And then next week we'll have a different set of skills and all that. All right, so exercise 2, let's say it's accuracy focused. It's focused on double stops. And double stops just means you're playing 2 notes instead of 1. So instead of... very different flavor. Right? But it forces you to be accurate because you are making sure to hit 2 notes. And you don't want to you don't want to hit 3 notes, 4 notes, etc. You've got to be accurately hitting those 2 at a time. And you can't just be hitting 1, because then you've got this individual note. So you want to be playing those 2 notes. You hear this a lot in Hendrix songs. Hendrix uses this a ton. In fact, I have a video here. I'll link it, where we go over some Hendrix double stop licks to help you incorporate that flavor. And you'll hear it a lot in anyone who's an offshoot of Hendrix, all right, which is basically everyone. I think like in recent times, you'll hear it in like indie pop songs. You can kind of hear some washy, chorusy, reverb to the max, double stops in the background, layered into some indie pop songs. So anyways, it's all over the place. And all we're going to be doing is going through a pentatonic scale with double stops. So we're going to be using a B minor pentatonic shape. But instead of going individual notes, 7/7, 10/9, 7/7, 9/9, 7/7, 9/9, 7/7, 9/10, 7/7, 10/10, and then back down. All right. The big thing here, and I've gotten this comment before, is, well, you should just bar. That's easier. Well, we already know that we have to go ring and pinky here, and we have to go ring and pinky here. Now, for me, it is true that you can accurately, play this with your picking hand and use a bar. But if you want to get more aggressive, this allows you to mute those top strings, right? So ring and pinky. Or index and middle, for example. You can take a bigger strum, bigger whack at it, put a little more emphasis on it. So I think just why not play things like that and allow yourself the room for error. So again, 7/7, 10/9, 7/7, 9/9, 7/7, 9/9, 7/7, 9/10, 7/7, 10/10. And then just back down. You're just going up and down. Make sure those 2 notes ring out. I was going through this as my own practice session. Be really clear, concise. Make sure the metronome that I'm playing with is slow enough to ensure that I'm going through things in a smooth manner and I'm not missing any notes. All right. And of course, I always feel like I'm overlooking this or, ignoring this when I'm making these videos. I'm, ignoring all of my skills when I'm making these. But play light. Don't overpick. Don't overfret. Light is right. Something, you want it to not feel overly effortful. Okay, but again, just going down and up through that pentatonic shape using double stops. And again, as always, I think the 5 minutes go fast when you're really concentrating. Did everything ring out clearly? All of a sudden, if you're playing with a good metronome, you start getting in the rhythm. You're kind of going back between really conscious, unconscious, and all of a sudden the 5 minutes ends. Your timer is up. All right. This next one, we're going to play all of the chords in the key of C, open chords. I don't think you could ever, get too much work with your touch and feel. And I think sometimes simple chords get overlooked, especially by beginners and intermediates. And, certainly when you're gigging, maybe you go to a smaller thing, maybe you go to an open mic, you'll see it a lot where it's like, man, did this person ever really practice those open chords? So let's just give that, a go. Stay accurate. Make sure same thing. Fretting hand is on point. Picking hand's on point. We'll go C. And this gives us a little bit of time to work on theory. What's the next chord in the key of C, right? C major, D minor. What would come after D? C, D. There's no sharps or flats in the key of C. C, D, E. E minor, the rule for major scale. Major, let me put my kick down. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, back to major. All right. So we've got C, we've got D minor, we've got E minor. What comes next? F, let's bar. Although you could play around with that kind of F major 7. That's okay. We've got F, we've got G. What comes after G? We got A minor. Brain farting over here. And then the next chord is a bit of a funky chord, B diminished. And I would just go for the full bar. Oftentimes you can play diminished just, the A string through the B string, but go ahead and bar that. But the high E ring out, and then back to C. And then you can either just stay in that direction, or you can switch things up and go in the opposite direction. C, B diminished, A minor, G, F, F major, of course. Then we've got E minor, D minor, back to C. And just make sure they ring out super clear. If you want to work on your strumming, and then switch to D minor. Etc., right? But same thing, play along with a metronome. Don't feel like you need to do the strumming and overcomplicate things. Just work on your touch, your feel. Does everything feel great underneath your fingers? I feel like I'm judging myself harshly, but try to be cleaner than I've been today. We're all works in progress, so I'm sorry, but thank you for your forgiveness if you're judging me right now. And there we have it. There's exercise 3. So we've got alternate picking, warm up, loosen up, get some speed under your fingers, some accuracy with these double stops, same thing, dexterity. And then you've got some touch and some feel. Of course, touch and feel is baked into everything, but really making sure that our basics are solid. All right, we got this great base of support. So there's the first 3 exercises. The final one, maybe a little bit more fun. It's a sliding lick, and we'll be repetitive with it. But of course, if you want to be great at guitar solos, you want your lead work to sound really good, sliding is very, very important. So exercise 4 is this. So there it is. There's maybe one really, semi-tricky part where we're sliding down, all at once using our index finger, but the way up. That's the part that might trip you up, right? Let me just go through this again. This is in the key of G major. So that's 7 down to 4, down to 2. Excuse my guitar faces, they're always crazy in this video, or in these videos. Overlook skill though, sliding with the index finger and sliding down. So you're sliding up, you're sliding down. Go as slow as you want. Go over just one part if you're a little newer to sliding. Feel that out. Try that. Right, you can segment it, and then you can really, if you want, just isolate that index finger slide. Surprised I haven't messed up more on that, but it can be tricky. So you can isolate, each part of that exercise if you need to. Once you're feeling good with it, metronome, 5 minutes, and make sure it's down perfect. If you want to play with it on top of a backing track, search G major backing track or E minor, right? Relative scales there. So G major or E minor, and play around with that, Maybe you just do that on top of the G major backing track. And you just, kind of segment things, break them apart. and all that stuff. That's a way that I like to just get people better at soloing. I'll give you a link to my beginners how to solo video right here, so you can play around with those concepts. But there it is. Work on your slides on that final piece. 5 minutes for each exercise, nothing too wild, and you'll be in a great place to move on to all your other stuff and continue to get excellent at this instrument. I hope you've enjoyed this. The next time you'll see me, I won't be in this space. My partner and I are moving, and we are in New York City right now. We'll be in Durham, North Carolina soon enough. So for those of you who are, maybe you're in Durham or Durham and you want to give me music recommendations, maybe there's a great guitar store I got to check out, or there's a cool recording studio I need to know about, or there's some places where you like to gig or whatever, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you're like, oh, I could set you up with a gig, I'll link my demos in the description. And anyways, there's that. Like, subscribe if you found this helpful. I will see you on the next one. Peace.